Unexpected Holiday Part 2. I can't believe you left with the glass, Dorian laughed, clutching his stomach as the intense laughter threatened to knock him over. I could not help it. Okay, that was some damn good rum, I slurred, opening the front door. I was pleased to notice that it was still open, which meant that the girls were home and had not gone off with those weird-looking dudes who were at the bar. Dorian had sworn that the bars in the country were 10 times better than the ones in the city, and I could not believe him. Well, I had to apologize profusely with a round of shots because he was right. It was like something out of a medieval film, with people playing cards, darts, and singing. The locals were very friendly to us and more than welcoming compared to the tight-lipped club goers I was used to partying with. We had danced till our feet felt like jelly, laughed till we nearly died, and drank the best liquor money could buy. Now we were back home on the early morning of my birthday, and it felt as if the whole world was spinning. We did not have to worry about the parents since they knew we were out and they had gone for a business trip, so they were only returning tomorrow. I am still buzzing. I am not sure if I still want to sleep, he sighed, sitting on the bed. I smirked as I made my way over to him and kissed his cheek. He flashed me a smile, blue eyes sparkling like the ocean on a sunny day. Well then, what do you want to do? I whispered as I sat down next to him. I would like to talk a bit. He smiled faintly. I smiled. He and I had gotten off to a rather steamy start, but we were quickly becoming good friends. He helped me get over Anthony, and I guess I was great company for him. I loved how we could go on for hours just talking. The conversation flowed so easily with him. I did not feel the constant need to do something to hold his attention. I just had it without even asking. I had found out that he was a freshman at college and he did some modeling on the side. I can't say I was surprised. He looked like he had stepped out of a magazine. What is on your mind, Dorian? I asked, looking into his eyes. He sighed and looked off in the distance. There is something I have been meaning to ask you, but I have been chickening out every time, he mumbled while biting his plump lip. He was just too adorable. I smiled reassuringly. Go on, what's up? He ran his hands through his hair. What is your shoe size? Haha, why were you feeling shy to ask such a simple question? I am a size 9. I grinned at how adorable he was. He was the most confident person I knew, but he had these little moments of uncertainty that were very cute to watch. I just wanted to cuddle him sometimes. Thank you. I was so nervous. It just seemed like a weird thing to ask. I swear I don't have a foot fetish. Well, not that much, he corrected after I raised a disbelieving eyebrow at his former statement. No, really, it is fine. It is a little thing, so really I am not freaked out by it. By the way, that other guy at the bar was totally checking you out, I teased. His cheeks turned a bit red and he averted his eyes. Yeah, that was my ex Jonah, and he was not checking me out. He was ogling at you. Me? Why though? I am not a complete troll, but I don't think I was particularly show-stopping today. He chuckled, revealing his cute dimples. Have you seen yourself? You are a sensation here. City boy with impeccable style. The only reason no one here has stolen you away is that they think you are with me. You are with me, those words echoed in my head. I was conflicted about how I felt about Dorian. Sure, he was good looking and we had great chemistry, but I did not know how we would treat each other once in a relationship. I was sure that we were just a holiday fling and he did not see me as more than a friend. So I ignored tingling I felt at the thought of us being together despite how good it felt. Well, thank you for the compliment. I really needed that ego boost, to be honest. I hugged him. His scent was simply intoxicating. He smelt earthly, masculine and warm, and I loved it about him. My ex is a good guy if you ever decide to go there. He shrugged. Thank you, I will keep that in mind. By the way, why did you guys break up? I asked. We just felt that we were better off as friends. We burned brightly, but we burnt out quickly, I guess. He sighed. Yeah, I understand how it feels to burn quickly and brightly, I said. Your ex? He asked. I nodded sadly. Yeah, he burnt me badly, I said. I felt him reach for my hand and I let him. It felt good to have that human contact, to know that I wasn't alone in this world. But I don't want to talk about it anymore. I feel sleepy. Will you join me in bed or will you be up for a bit longer? I pulled my hand away. Sure, I will join you. Good night and happy birthday, by the way. He gave me a peck and we got into bed. The dreams about Anthony had stopped for a few days, but that night I dreamt about him again. He was apologizing a lot to me, but I could not say a word to him for I was tongue-tied. I woke the next morning feeling as if I had been hit by a sledgehammer. I had been tossing and turning all night and I was restless. I reached across the bed, searching for Dorian's familiar warm body, but I could not find him. I got up and went to get ready. I took a cold shower due to the heat that was outside, then I wore my favorite white jeans, colorful shirt and white slacks. I ruffled my hair into place and looked myself in the mirror one last time before going. The house was suspiciously quiet, especially today. I expected the girls to have woken me up with some loud version of the happy birthday song, but they were nowhere to be found. When I entered the kitchen, I saw a plate of food along with a note. It read, "Happy birthday, Marcus. We hope that don't mind that we left you sleeping. Lana and Kate went shopping while I had to take a client horse riding. See you soon. Dorian, Lana and Kate." To be honest, I was a bit disappointed, but I understood that they had things to do. I got down to eating the delicious food that I was pretty sure only Dorian could cook. I moaned as the soft butter melted on my tongue and the flavor in the pancake tickled all my taste buds. It was amazing, to be honest. An hour later, he was back from the trip and wanted to take me somewhere. I kept on asking him where he was taking me, but he kept mum. This further riled and excited me. He had that thing about me, calming me while making my heart threaten to jump out of my chest. Are we there yet? I droned on and on for the rest of the trip. It felt nice being with him though, arguing over music because we both believed we had the superior music taste, while also bonding over movies because we both loved horror movies. An hour later, we arrived at a dodgy looking building. It was gray with chipped white paint and there was graffiti on the walls. Is this the part where you murder me and hide my body in an abandoned warehouse? I chuckled. He stopped smiling and looked at me dead in the eye. He started leaning in closer, grinning in a menacing way. My heart skipped a beat as I wondered what I had gotten into. He then attacked me. He kissed my lips hard with so much passion. I kissed him back happily for two reasons. One was that he wasn't a serial killer, and the other was that the kiss was amazing. He pulled away after a few seconds and smiled at me mischievously. "Okay dear, now it is time for your surprise," he said as he got out of the car. I was very curious to find out what my surprise was. He knocked on the wooden door and a short old lady opened it. She smiled when she saw the both of us and gestured us inside. "I am so glad you could both make it. I believe that this is the Marcus I have been hearing a lot about. My name is Sabrina Black." She smiled a toothy smile. I shook her soft hand and smiled at her. She led us down a dimly lit hallway until she opened door at the end of it. To say I was flabbergasted would be an understatement. I was utterly shook to my core, but what was before me? The last time I was at an ice skating rink was when I felt my bones crush beneath me, and then I saw black. I did not know that I was crying until I felt the tears roll down my face. I remembered all the countless hours I spent practicing, all the competitions I had won, and all the friends I had made. It all came crashing back and I was overwhelmed by elation. I turned to him and hugged him while sobbing. He had no idea what his surprise meant to me. This made me feel so much more for him. It hit me there and there that he was more than just a friend with benefits, and I had to let him know, but not at that moment. "Thank you so much. You have truly made this the best day I have had in a long time," I sobbed while hugging him. "I would do anything for you. Now, are you ready for some action?" He grinned, holding up a pair of ice skates. I squealed as I understood why he had asked for my shoe size the night before. We both wore our skates, then made our way over to the rink. I admit, I was extremely nervous after months off the ice. I took a step forward, then wobbled, but he steadied me. I smiled at him in gratitude and continued walking. After a few seconds, I felt as if I was back to being my old self. We slowly circled around each other, smiling from ear to ear. At some point, Happier by Marshmallow Feet Bastille started playing through the speakers. We grinned, then parted ways. I did a single jump to test my body's response. It was perfect. I started laughing and swirling around the ice. We held hands and skated together, lost in our own bubble. I do not know how long we were there, but soon exhaustion took over us, so we left after saying goodbye to Mrs. Black. The drive back was silent, but a nice kind of silence. We were both buzzing with adrenaline. Our cheeks were literally bright red. Soon, we arrived home as the sun was setting. Whose parents' car was in the driveway, meaning that they were back from the trip. We walked up to the door and opened it. Strangely enough, the lights were switched off. "Hello," I said. The lights suddenly came on and everyone yelled surprise. My jaw dropped as I saw my friends from school along with everyone else. I rushed to hug everyone and ask about their well-being. I had not been expecting this, but I was extremely grateful for the effort everyone had put into my birthday. They had a beautiful velvet cake made for me along with lots of snakes. It was a very quiet affair with everyone mingling and dancing to the music. At some point, my friends managed to bully me into a speech. I reluctantly agreed, even though I was not a speech person. "Hello everyone. Thank you all for being here on my special day. All of you had made this day memorable for me, and I am so happy to be celebrating with you today. Cheers," I said, holding up my glass. Everyone cheered and applauded me. I went over to talk to Rachel, one of my closest friends. "Hey Rachel, thank you so much for coming. How are you doing?" I said as I hugged her. She pouted and looked away. "Hahaha, what is wrong now?" I chuckled. How dare you not tell me about your newbie? She glared at me. Oh, but we are not dating. I grinned. Please, I saw you making lovey-dovey eyes at each other, she said, raising an eyebrow. I am telling the truth, we aren't dating. At least not yet, I revealed. OMG, are you stupid? She whacked me over the head. Such a hunk is not gonna be around for long. What is stopping you from making it official? First of all, ouch. I rubbed my head at the spot where she had hit me. And secondly, I am actually planning on telling him how I feel tonight. I winked. Shut the front door. Now we are talking. True to my word, I told him that we needed to talk that night. A look of worry passed over his eyes, but I reassured him that everything was fine. We were sitting on the porch after everyone had gone to sleep, and I was trying to compose myself enough to say what I needed to say. Remember how I did not want to talk about my ex when you asked me before? Well, I think I am ready to tell you now, I said. He listened patiently as I told him everything that had transpired between Anthony and me. When I was done, he opened his eyes and we snuggled for a bit. When I came here, I was broken. I thought that I was never going to heal. You helped me forget for a while. After some time, I did not even think about my ex anymore. I started noticing all the little quirky things about you, and they made my heart warm. I really like you. I blurted all of my feelings out. He stopped smiling and stood up. My heart literally crashed to the bottom. Follow me, he said softly with no emotion in his voice. This was it. He was going to reject me and my heart. We both walked in silence until we were in our room. He walked over to the dresser and pulled out a wrapped package, then handed it to me. What is this? I asked, feeling very suspicious. I unwrapped it and found a box inside. On it was a note. I opened the note and gasped. It said, "Will you be my boyfriend?" Yes, of course I will be yours. You had me worried there. I thought you did not feel the same way about me. I laughed shakily. Of course I like you too. I have been waiting to ask you because I was not sure if you were over your ex yet and if you would give me a chance. He smiled sheepishly. I opened the box to find a t-shirt with my favorite artist on it. I hugged him when I saw this. He had truly made this day special, and I was gonna show him just how much I appreciated him. I placed the package on the dresser, then began approaching him slowly. I haven't had a chance to thank you. I smiled, titling my head slightly. And how do you plan on doing that? He said in his deep velvety voice. I walked up to him and then whispered in his ears what I would do to him. He turned red and his lip curved up on one side due to the anticipation. He pushed me on the bed and got on top of me. I was his and he was mine. One thing rang true to me as we lay there, engulfed in our passion. There's calamity in what we call love, for what we glimpse with mortal eyes is but a sliver of shadows. Love is the most radiant force, yet the darkest war on our soul. It wraps around you like a cocoon of safety, so you let it take your body, mind and soul to this undiscovered part of your soul. Then you give up the reins and fly, and come crashing down in a trail of bliss. Love is a killer, soft and sweet, taking in the night with reckless abandon. And no one can claim to have love, cause it is so volatile, but you cannot deny when love has you. The end. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become a part of our rainbow force and stay wholesome.